Hello, everyone. I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Daryl.
And we are the
Bakers.
Hey, we wanted to reconnect and talk to everyone again, our married couples and engaged couples. And today we're going to talk about a subject pertaining to what? Things that we think should not be included in marriage. What do you think about that, hon?
Yeah, a couple of things we want to really discuss and also identify that should not be in marriage. So if we go down the list, one thing, it shouldn't be envy.
Should be no envy.
Should be no envy. No jealousy.
No jealousy. How do you even do that? I don't know. If we are as one, how are you jealous? But at any rate, no envy, no jealousy, no competition.
No control.
No control.
Manipulation.
No manipulation.
Selfishness.
And no selfishness. Really?
Yeah, really.
No selfishness. And then one other thing we want to talk about is what? Secrets. There should be no secrets. Remember, again, I just said you are as one.
Mm-hmm.
So how would that even look if you have a couple and they have secrets?
Well, secrets is a thing that really can bring division and divide you. Okay, so secrets can be the thing that causes you to be at odds because now you're not on one accord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you're holding something that can bring maybe a wedge between your relationship. It can cause you to have multiple personalities because you live in one way in a home environment, and then you go outside and live a different way.
So let's define secrets. So what is secrets? What does that really mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, secrets can be the thing that you hiding from your spouse,
mm-hmm.
that you don't necessarily want to deal with. You know it's not necessarily right. However, if they don't know about it, then it won't hurt them. Okay, so, but it does hurt the relationship. Okay, because of the fact that if you are married and you come together in holy matrimony, and you're supposed to have covenant relationship, and you're supposed to become one. You're really not becoming one. You're really not necessarily whole because the whole individual of you are not able to express some of those things that you've been withholding from your spouse.
Yeah, secrets. It's something that, as he stated, something that when you think about secrets, it's usually in kind of in a negative connotation, if you will. But in a marriage, especially, if you have to hide something from your spouse, that probably means, like Daryl said, that it's not something that's very good. Because you should not have any secrets. I mean, really, what's the point of being married, having companionship, and then you holding yourself back? And that's very important to know, especially if you are engaged to be married. And that's why we always advocate saying you need to get some type of premarital assistance from a third party, because sometimes when you're in love and you fuzzy wuzzies you may not see it all. But if you have a third party that's impartial, because they're not connected with any love or emotions. Sometimes they may see things and even deal with things like secrets that maybe one of the fiancés has not desired to talk about but needs to be talked about. That third party may be able to hone in on that. And what scripture would you want to mention in this, babe?
Mark 4:22, and it says, For everything hidden is meant to be revealed, and everything concealed is meant to be brought to light. And so basically what that means is that hidden things eventually will come to surface. And those things that's been concealed eventually will come to light. Because know that somebody else are aware of your secrets. Know that someone else is aware of the lifestyle that you're living. Know that someone else is aware of what you proclaim to be and who you really are. I remember one time back home, we're from Chicago, and I was walking down the street and I saw this guy that I met, and I met his wife as well. Okay, and I just walked up to him and I say, Herman, I say, hey man, how you doing? I saw your wife just earlier today. But the thing about it, he was with another lady. And it didn't even occur to me that he was with someone else because I was kind of excited to see him. And then I just exposed him, not even maliciously. It was a honest thing, basically. Mm-hmm. And then a block away, it came to me and said, oh my God, what did I do? Right? Only thing I did was reveal a truth. Okay? But there was a hidden secret because of the fact that he was having an affair outside of his wife. Mm-hmm. So and somebody else knew about him as being a married man. And that one person was me. But I did not reveal it, to be malicious. It was just something that just taken place.
And that could happen. I mean, secrets could be, which we didn't talk about yet, secrets could encompass adultery, maybe, especially when you're talking about engaged couples. If someone has some hidden debt they don't want to bring to the table and tell you about until after you get married because they feel, okay, then you can work it out. No, everything should be on the table, especially in an engagement, on the table up front. So whether it's adultery, whether you have a habit, that's because any secrets that's going to affect your marriage in a negative manner is definitely not a good thing. So that's why you need to, get everything out in the open and discuss what needs to be done as soon as you can. So if you're engaged, again, this is very important. But if you're already married, it's still not too late. It's time to really be honest with your spouse. Like I said, adultery, a money issue, mm-hmm. any children that maybe you didn't tell your spouse about. It could be anything. It can get really, really deep. But the point is, it's time to let go of the secrets. Now, if you find yourself in a position where we talked about this earlier, if it's something you feel is really detrimental to your marriage, like adultery, because that's serious.
That is serious.
And you're like, I can't do this. Well, that's where you may need to have a third party come in and assist you. Maybe you need counsel, maybe you need help. So if you need information of that nature because you're dealing with something that's really, really heavy in your relationship, but it's not something that you feel you can just go and address to your spouse on your own, don't feel like you're alone. You can also go to our blog at www.enrichingyourmarriageblog.wordpress.com. Mm-hmm. And just leave your comment, your information, and then someone will be able to get back with you. Because we don't want to just tell you about things we feel that you shouldn't have in your marriage and then not give you an outlet or a way to express it if you feel you can't do it on your own. You agree?
Yes, because the fact is it's all about not just identifying a problem, but also finding a solution. Finding something that's workable, a workable solution that's going to bring about rebuild a trust level. And it's important as well that if you find out a secret about your spouse and you don't necessarily know how to bring that about, I think it's about you maturing, allowing that person to mature, and also understanding the proper time as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, because you don't want to, we're not talking about bringing detrimental recourse to your marriage, but we really want to help you to identify an issue that needs to be resolved, because you cannot continue to run away from truth, and you can no longer continue to live a double life because of the fact that is bringing dishonesty in your relationship.
That's true. And dismissing secrets is another way to help you be on the road to enriching your marriage. Remember, that's what this is all about. Helping you whether you're engaged. This is very good information in the front. And then if you're already married, helping you to enrich. Because if you have secrets, that means there's going to be this wedge between you and your spouse. It's just going to be there. Because this person, if you don't know it yet, this person is going to be constantly talking, or in their heads talking to themselves about, wow, I really, they may be saying, I really want to tell them this. And then the other ones may be saying, I'm not going to tell them this, but it's going to be a constant head game within that person, that spouse, mm-hmm. because they're trying to make sure they cover themselves. Because think about it. If you have a secret, okay, you're going to have to tell another. It's going to be connected with lies.
Lies, deceitfulness, deception.
It's going to be connected, because if you got a secret and you don't want anybody to know it because you think it's so awful, or whatever the case may be, you're going to have to eventually tell a lie to cover it. Mm-hmm. Because if it's taking up so much of your time, right? You're going to have to tell this line and this line and this line and this line, and then you're going to have to keep up with all these lines. That is just too much stuff going on. And you can't have a successful marriage with all the secrets and the lies. Excuse me, it's just not going to work.
No, it's not going to work. Okay, so, and that's what we really want you to do, to really focus on really bringing about a resolution. This is just a topic that we feel that, that it was been placed upon our heart to bring about a discussion. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about some real issues and some real things that's taking place in marriages and in your relationship and in life. A lot of times we don't want to deal with the real naked truth. Okay, so we find ourselves living a lie as opposed to living truth and living in harmony and living according to having victory in our lives. Okay, and so these are real issues and real things that really needs to be discussed, because of the fact that who knows, we don't necessarily know personally how you have developed that type of mentality about living lives of secrets. Could have been something that was, released from ancestors, something that you learned because of the fact that this is the way other family members have dealt with life. And maybe that's your reality. Maybe that's your truth. But that's not the truth. Okay, so we really want you to deal with the truth. Deal with those hard areas of your lives so you can bring about a solution, resolution, and also have victory.
Need victory in marriage, right? And I want to piggyback on what he was talking about, if it's a generational thing. So we're not going to get really in depth into it, but think about generationally what has gone through your bloodline, your family, different things that may have happened. Like in some families, secrets could be that, if there was some type of abuse or something that a particular person in the family never addressed, and now that person gets married, that can affect the marriage. So that's why that kind of information needs to be definitely known up front before marriage. But if you're in marriage and you just didn't want to deal with it at the time, you need to deal with it, because any type of secret that's going to cause there to be some type of contention in your marriage, some type of resistance or stress in your marriage, it needs to be dealt with. So we just want to make sure, again, if you're engaged, that's the things you need to talk about. Make sure you're very honest with your soon-to-be spouse and even with the third party that's helping you. And if you're married and you need assistance, also, consider a third party if it's something really, really, really difficult you feel to deal with, because we don't want you to put yourself in a difficult, in a harm's way. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that eventually you're going to have to, because what is the old saying, what's done in the dark
will come to the light.
Will come to the light eventually. And that's true. It's going to come. And a lot of times when it happens in that type of scenario, it comes out abruptly. And then a lot more people may be hurt because it wasn't dealt with. So again, what are we saying? The things we were talking about in the very beginning was saying things that we believe from experience in life that should not be included in your marriage. No jealousy, no envy, no control, no selfishness. Right? Those things, no manipulation. And then we talked about secrets today. So we hope that will encourage you to think before marriage and during marriage. And again, if you need assistance, just go to our blog and leave some of your information, so your questions, at www.enrichingyourmarriageblog.wordpress.com. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, and that's Marriage Enrichment The Bakers. And tweet us sometimes. Check out our tweets, or tweet us sometimes at Marriage Enrichment The Bakers at Destiny Arrived. Anything else you want to end with, honey?
Yes, I would just like to end with this. We're not just talking about secrets like you may be planning a special day for your spouse.
No, nothing like that.
And you want to conceal the information until that appointed time. However, we are talking about secrets that can bring about a wedge, that can bring about division, that can bring about a mistrust, between your relationship, that would bring about a hurt or pain or something of that nature. Okay, we know that you have to deal with that at some point and at some level, and you also need a level of maturity, and you want to also to protect your spouse as well.
Yes.
You just don't want to, reveal something just to hurt them because you angry and mad about something. And all of a sudden now you want to, now you just want to spill the beans, so to speak, and because of the fact that you're not in a healthy place, and it's okay for your spouse to be wounded by what you want to share. It's about being able to protect one another, respect one another, and love one another.
Yes.
And considering yourself, okay, the way that you're treating your spouse, is that truly the way that you desire to be treated in return?
And that's good. And I want to end with, we always like to do challenges or something. And this is not really a challenge, but I wanted to really encourage people. If you can think of some things to help you, but think of some things that you don't think should be included in marriage, hit us up on our blog.
Yes, let us know.
Maybe you have some other things that you want to share with the marriage community to help them, because this is all about helping each other, right?
That's right.
Building a strong community of traditional marriages so that we can help other people. Some people have been through certain things and others haven't. So if you have something that we did not mention, because we didn't mention everything, of course, but if you have something that you would like to mention that you feel should not be included in marriage, consider sending that to us. Again, www.enrichingyourmarriageblog.wordpress.com. And I think we're going to end with that. Is there anything else we need to talk about, babe?
There's a lot of things we can talk about, but listen, we're going to end this recording, okay? We hope that you are able to get something out of it, and just like my wife said, basically, is just go and reach out to our blog and share with us. And maybe you have some experiences, or maybe you have some victories, or maybe you have some challenges, maybe you have some suggestions. Let's share.
All right. Well, with that being said, what do we do, honey? I'm Charlotte.
I'm Daryl.
And we are
the Bakers.
Peace. See you soon. Bye-bye.